Hi guys. So today's date is January 29th, and I'm filming the dice reading for February for the month of February. So here is the dice reading. So we're gonna start with the general life, and then we're gonna move to relationships, business, health, and then I just have a couple of notes for you guys about some special days that are happening this month to keep in mind. So, the first section of the reading is the general life section, and it's telling you to look closely. The first number is the two, and it's telling you to look closely at situations, and things may not be as they appear. And I really feel like this is specified for those first couple of weeks in February because Mercury's in retrograde from February 1st to February 17th. And as we know, that's like basically half of the month because it's the shortest month of the year. So, just be weary of people trying to deceive you, people trying to tell you lies, and people trying to put on appearances that they are not. Because when Mercury is in retrograde, it is easier for a trickster to play tricks and for you to be deceived by them. Um, the next number in the general life reading is the number one, and one indicates family difficulties are coming. And there's not really much that can be said about that. I mean, as much as this is the season of love, I mean, you kind of get strife that comes with love. Um, Setbacks and unpleasant news is. So the next number after one is four, and that is setbacks and unpleasant news. So just be weary of that, and well, don't be weary, but just be warned of that. There might be a couple of setbacks in some personal life goals that you've been trying to achieve, or maybe even some business life goals that you're trying to achieve. So be aware of that. And the five is the last number of the general life reading, which tells me that overall, even though you go through these setbacks, the family struggle, and this may be even deception, this possible deception, you will have a strange surprise that will bring you happiness in the end. And I feel like that's always a lovely thing. Happiness in the end is always a good thing. So on to the relationships. On to the relationship section of the reading. I do think that you guys should. This is very important considering February is sort of considered the season of love, or at least the start to the season of love. So let us talk. So the first number in the relationship reading is the five, as we just ended with the five in the general life area. But the first number in the relationship is five, which is strange surprises bring happiness. And so I want you guys to be on the lookout for that strange person, that strange coincidence that leads to you guys getting a coffee date, or leads to you guys going out to dinner with somebody you never really saw yourself going out with. Um, the next number in the relationship reading is the two. Look closely at situations. Things may not be as they appear. As I said in the first section of the reading, when Mercury's in retrograde, it's very easy for you to be deceived by a person, especially if you're hoping that that person is to be in a relationship with you, or you're hoping to be not single anymore. Some people don't even really want relationships, they just don't want to be single anymore. So, what I'm just saying to you guys is, and this is just a warning, just be warned that if you are trying to force a relationship to happen, you might suffer consequences from that. And when I say consequences, I mean that you might be deceived, and you might go through some heartbreak. So just know that. Um, the next reading, the next number in the relationship section of the reading is the is family troubles and family strife. And what this might indicate to me is that there is a little bit of family strife upon dealing with the relationships, dealing with a relationship. So your family members might not necessarily approve of someone that you brought home to them, or they might not necessarily approve of the person that you are now going out with. The last number of the overall relationship is the overall number of the relationship reading is the number eight, and I would like to. Earlier, I stated that sometimes we just want to be in a relationship so bad that it's easier to be deceived. Well, the eight represents taking a relationship slow and looking closely at a situation, and in the month of February, Valentine's Day is a big holiday, and some people sort of see it as if you don't have anybody by Valentine's Day, you've sort of failed a relationship and you're not going to have a relationship for the rest of the year. So I do think it is kind of important that instead of just rushing off and finding somebody to be in a relationship with, that you take it slow. If you're not with that person by Valentine's Day, like if you don't officially have a title by Valentine's Day, I guess that's all good and fine. But that's good and fine. But you shouldn't try to force a title because, I mean, forcing a title isn't going to really do anything except you have a title that one person wants and the other person might not necessarily want. Anyway, on to the next section of the reading, which is the business portion. Expect pleasant surprises. So, for those of you that own businesses, especially businesses that involve love, especially businesses that involve relationships, especially businesses that involve fertility and even plant growing, this is a really good month for you. Um, two, the next number in the business reading is two. Look closely at the situations. And so I would advertise that you look very closely at the situation. Notice I said advertise. Um, how you're getting people to come to your business is going to be very important in this month, especially with Mercury retrograde, because Mercury retrograde, like I said before, it does influence your appearance. And so don't put on a facade. I mean, don't razzle dazzle if you can't really razzle dazzle when they walk into your store. Um, the next number in the business reading is 4, and this is setbacks and unpleasant news, which tells me that this might be a financial rough period for some businesses rather than others. Uh, and all I have to say to that is that you have to keep your head up. Now, I would like to bring up this last number, this overall number. 7 is the overall number of the business reading, and that number represents becoming a victim of gossip. And that I have a saying that I used to live by when I was in middle school. And the saying was, it doesn't matter what people are talking about you as long as they're talking about you. And I would like to reiterate that we talked about advertisement. And so I would just like to just say that I said advertisement when it comes to looking closely at the situation. And so what you really should understand about this number 7 is that your gossip might be about how your business is run and who is running your business and this and that. So do look very closely at that. The last section of the reading is the health section. And as we know, February is sort of the marker for spring, it's not exactly spring yet, but it's sort of spring. It sort of starts. So this is sort of allergy season. And I'm already starting to fall victim to it. But let us start with the numbers. So the first number in the health reading is misfortune and loss. And I think that this is going to be a common number in the health section of the reading, because whenever you talk about health, we lose a lot of people via the way of health. So all I'm saying is that there is going to be misfortune and loss in this section of life this month. Health wise, and that could mean that you lose your health, and that could also mean that a person has succumbed to a sickness which they have been fighting for a long time, and in which case I would like to offer my condolences. Um, so health. So the next number in health is 12. A message of great importance is coming to you. So just be on the lookout for that doctor's call, or uh, just be on the lookout for that doctor's call. Um, 18 is the next number in the health section, which means that success or dreams are realized, which means that this is a very good time for recovery and a very good time for doing healing work spiritually. So please do light your green candles and whatever health rituals that you have, this is a very good time. You'll have great amount of success with that. And lastly but not leastly, the overall number for this section is 11. And 11 is actually short-term illnesses, which I thought to be funny. Like I said, this is allergy season, so do be aware of that. Short-term illnesses are coming. You might feel sick one day and then you're ready to jump up and get back to work the next. So that has been the dice reading for this month. I do have a couple of things to remind you about. February 17th, as I said earlier, will mark the end of Mercury retrograde. February 2nd is Candlemas. February 3rd is the full moon, which is really like which is really just midnight at February 2nd, on February 2nd. What else? The full moon will be in the sign of Leo, which is very good for cultivating the earth, tilling the ground. It's very, very good for, just getting dirt ready to pot plants. And so if you have a want or a need to plant anything this season, I suggest that you start working on the dirt the night or the day of February 2nd. The day of February 2nd or February 3rd. February 3rd is also the feast day of Saint Blas. I forget how you say it. That's how I say it, but that's not how you say it. He is the patron saint of sickness. You petition him for illnesses. So, as I said, this is the start of allergy season, so it does not hurt to light a white candle to him. His name is spelled Blas. There's another name for him, and you can look it up. But, just light a white candle to him and petition him for health and a good health. February 1st is the feast day of Saint Bridget or Mama Brigitte. And that is another saint that is very good for health, but she's also good for truth, justice, and certain situations of fidelity and love. So keep that in mind as we move into February, which is sort of the month of fidelity and love. And Our Lady of Lourdes is her feast day is also February 3rd, I believe, but I'm not really sure. She is also another. She is another spirit that you can petition for sickness and health, for healing sicknesses. Also, wait, did I talk about everything I need to talk about? Also, guys, I am starting to do individual. I'm starting to do readings via my Etsy. So if you would like a reading via my Etsy, I believe I put the link in my I believe I put the link on my YouTube channel. But if I haven't, I have a special channel just for. I have a special channel just for people who want to get readings. So it's called The Mystic Hut, and I will post that link below. But please go check it out, and please come and find me and get a reading. I will warn you now that I do deluxe readings, and those are relationship based. What they are is they are basically what they are a card reading, and then they also come with three separate astrology readings, and it's Western astrology, Chinese astrology, and playing card astrology, which you guys know I love to do. Those are $80, but I might have a special on those for this month where I cut them in half. So where I cut the price in half. So please, go and buy a reading for me and support me, please. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a nice February, guys. Fall in love or something, but just don't get fooled. And blessings. Ashe, ashe, ashe.